Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back there is Tucker, and
yep, that's me.
And our family of three is packed in tight here in this 2023 Toyota GR86. And in this video, we're going to tell you what this small little affordable sports car is really like for a family of three. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, yet again, you have spent more time in a press vehicle than I. In fact, the only time I've driven this exact one as of yet was to pull it into the driveway and then to take it to go get pictures so far. I haven't even done my solo review, but I have spent time in one of these, and I can tell you it's been a little more comfortable being the only one in the car. You've taken this to Dallas and back. You've been the only one in the car. So you've got a lot of thoughts and opinions, I'm sure, on the GR86. So I'll just open the floor.
You're just going to open the floor.
Yeah.
Where do we start? You want to start from the outside?
Yeah. Start. What do you think?
Stop being so dramatic.
It's your head is not touching the roof right now. I'm wedged.
I was going to say you could lean back a little bit, but
no. We'll get into that in a moment.
Okay.
But yes, exterior styling. What are your thoughts?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it looks like a fun little sports car.
Which is exactly what
it is. I like the color. I like the curves.
What about that big ducktail spoiler back in the back?
You asked that. I like it.
Yeah? It all just works? No, I'm just curious
it works
because
for me.
We do have the top spec, and that is part of the top spec.
Okay, well, I like it better than if it just like dropped off. I think it looks more like a sports car with that little, as you call it, ducktail thing on the back.
And while we're talking
kind of a little, actually, I mean, when I was in Dallas this weekend, I was looking for the car in the parking lot, and I started walking straight towards this Porsche. And then I was like, oh, wait.
Interesting.
Not a Porsche, yep.
So, okay. This is the third and final for us to test as a family GR branded product from Toyota. Yep. So we've driven the GR Supra and the GR Corolla. And now we're in the GR86. The Corolla is the only one actually manufactured by Toyota. I've been calling this what all week?
Something about a Subaru.
The Toyota-roo. Because yes, this is manufactured mostly by Subaru in conjunction with Toyota. In fact, the engine underneath says both Toyota and Subaru on it. But what are your thoughts on exterior styling of the three? Where do you think this ranks? Because you really loved the Supra.
I did like the Supra. It would be right there neck and neck with the Supra.
Okay.
I think probably I mean, if we're going to jump right into it, I think I would probably buy this one over the Supra.
Well, it does have a back seat.
A back seat. But as far as strictly styling, I don't know. It's really neck and neck for me on those two.
Okay. That's kind of where I figured
this one does feel like a little bit bigger.
Yeah. This one, and it looks like a very sporty car, like you said.
Yes.
All right. Interior styling before we talk about space. What are your thoughts in here?
I do like it. It is very simple.
Yes.
And you can tell where some of the areas are a little bit cheaper material than others.
Right here is really offensive.
But it's offensive to you.
It's
not
echoey.
Well, if you're banging it, who's sitting there banging it?
Me.
Right? But yeah, it does kind of look like it's a nice leather, but it's not.
Yeah.
But I could be okay with that depending on the price, which I don't know yet. So.
Okay. Have you played with the infotainment at all?
I have played with the infotainment, and it's simple and easy to use. You do have to plug in your phone for Apple CarPlay, which doesn't really bother me, but I was able to, use Waze and listened to my podcast on a road trip. So all of that, and it was super easy to find. All of the dials and things like that are super easy to find, which I can appreciate. But if you like more tech, this may not be the car for you.
But I mean, it's not skimping either.
It's not skimping, no.
Dual zone climate control, automatic climate control here. You're talking about using Waze and Apple CarPlay, so we've got plenty going on there. You've got a digital gauge cluster there in front of you. How's the steering wheel?
I like the steering wheel a lot. It's very soft. I like this GR down here that reminds you that it's sporty.
Do you remember what GR stands for?
No.
Gazoo.
Great ride.
Gazoo racing.
Okay.
But yeah, and we also have heated front seats, though, and on time with it, we haven't needed it.
No.
These seats
That's nice.
are rather sporty looking.
They're sporty looking and they're very comfortable.
So how do they hold up on a 2-hour drive to
Very
Dallas?
comfortable. Yeah.
Leatherette and suede. I don't know if it's real leather. I'll need to dig into the window sticker on that one just a little bit.
And you know, the sides come up like bolstered seats, so it makes you feel sporty and also keeps you in there because it is a sports car that sits on the ground and bounces you around just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
And then you like multiple textures. We've got suede on the doors, suede over the dash.
This up here, that's something.
It's just a
felt.
Yeah. But
it's nice.
Nice, but yeah, even suede on your gauge hood over there. But yeah, let me see here if it's actually leather. They're doing so much ultra suede front seats with leather bolsters. So there you go, real leather.
And this is a fun. It's confused you.
Yes.
But it feels like a. So I feel like I will say this, that this car was built for someone like me that would want to feel sporty, but not actually have to drive a manual, but maybe want to feel like it could be a manual.
This definitely gives off manual transmission vibes because we are also at the same time testing a Nissan Z that is a manual transmission, and I had to refrain the few times I've driven this so far from
your
shifting.
daily driver is also, but mine isn't, so I haven't had that problem, but it does make me feel like really cool to shift it like it is a manual, but it's not. And same with the fact that it's a sports car. It's a sports car, but there's kind of a back seat.
Kind of.
It rides really smoothly.
Sure, we'll talk more about that on the brick streets up ahead. But
yeah. I would say one of the downsides that really affected me road tripping this is there are a lot of blind spots. So the visibility, especially like over my shoulder or over that shoulder, is not great, and I had to rely on the light, what do you call it?
Blind spot monitors.
The blind spot monitor. So thank goodness those work well.
Yeah.
Because I did have to rely on those very heavily on I-20 in traffic.
So you talked about there being a back seat. I did pull out for Tucker's child safety seat the top tether cover, and just proof that this is also a Subaru. There's a Subaru logo on this piece of plastic in this Toyota. So there's that. But good segue into actually attempting to put Tucker's child seat back there, and I'll also touch on luggage space in that rather smallish trunk back there too. All right, getting a child seat in the back. I'm not looking forward to this. I've done it once before. That was enough, but I will call out the fact that you can remove this to get to that top tether back there in the back window. And there are lower anchor points underneath these little Velcro straps in the lower, I call them butt pockets, down here. So it's got all the right attachments, but the space doesn't make it easy. Here we go. So Tucker's in his forward-facing Graco Extend-A-Fit, and you really have to be careful how you get this in there. Whew. And then I always start with the top tether, which, sorry, Subaru, Toyota, whatever you are. Here we go. tighten that into place right there. And then lower latches. I'm sitting on the back of the front seat, by the way. Then somehow I cannot even see over on this side of the child seat if I wanted to, but there, tug it in, click it in, tighten it into place, snug it in, and then catch your breath as you climb out. Whew. I'm not one for giving out a failing grade when clearly Tucker's already been riding back here in the video and I've gotten it in, but it's definitely not a high grade. I would probably give the installation process here a D, but let's check out that trunk space. All right, so let's talk about trunk space. First, access is through this access button right here with the proximity key in your pocket. You can see a small-ish size opening to a small-ish size trunk, just over 6¼ cubic feet back here. But you can actually lean in and flip and fold the entire seat back down for even more space if nobody's riding back there, or easily pull it up from these handles and just make sure it latches into place. And then, no, unfortunately, we can't get all of these in, but I'm gonna show you. You might be surprised at just how much. So this is our largest suitcase. It actually does not fit in long ways, but I can get it in and scoot it over just like that, which gives me enough room for our carry-on roller bag to fit in right there. And then my backpack can fit. Make sure to get all the latches out. And then I've got enough room for a little bit of a bag right there, but I can close this up. And like I said, you can fold that back seat down or even fold the front seats down to easily set this in the back seat if no one is riding back there. So definitely a lot of options here in the GR86. All right, so speaking of the trunk, you road tripped it. It is on the small side, but it worked for you.
Yes, but of course I was only going for a couple days.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, most people, when you road trip, it's not usually a cross-country road trip,
right.
Although we have been doing that more often. We would not be able to cross-country road trip, but I was able to fit a carry-on suitcase, his suitcase, which is like a carry-on suitcase, his overnight bag, my overnight bag, half a case of water, my pillow, you know, so I mean, what else do you need?
I mean, it is 6.26 cubic feet of space back there, kind of a small opening, but if you know how to play Tetris just right,
as I do.
It's smaller than the Z that we're currently driving, the cargo space there, and the Z has that massive hatch opening, which would lead you to believe it's bigger, but this is more effectively
shaped. Yeah, you and I were talking about that. This one feels bigger because the space is more efficiently utilized.
So it's not all about the numbers.
It's not all about the numbers.
All right, so wobbly head test for Tucker back there. We've got the cameras on him as best we can, but Tucker, what do you think of the ride here on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler?
It's really wobbly right here.
It is really wobbly back here.
And my dinosaurs wobbling up and down too.
Yeah. So we do have performance tires on this, and it is a sports car.
And my hands are wobbling too.
I think somebody may be embellishing a bit, but yeah, it's what you would expect from a sports car on brick streets.
Yeah, it may be like even a little bit smoother compared to other sports cars that we've had, I think. I think the Supra was a little bit rougher than this.
Laughing?
Maybe I just like this car so much.
What's up?
My dinosaur going up and down, it's tickling my hair.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
tickling your hand.
It's crawl.
Well, are there any other tidbits of knowledge that you've gained from your, let's see, 241.3 miles in this vehicle? I do see you're getting 27.6 mpg, so.
That's gone down a little with my
City driving?
city driving,
Yeah.
but yes, good gas mileage. No problems.
How was the
there.
power in traffic?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. It's good. It's not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Its looks make you think it's perhaps a little more powerful than it
Yes.
is.
And every once in a while, and when you do get on the highway driving, the wind noise could be, it's a little loud. Like I got on the phone, for instance, over the Bluetooth, and I felt like I was having to scream a little bit, and I had to have it turned all the way up to hear them. I also wish there was a sunroof.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Then you could just stick your head out.
But I will note, as I have driven one of these on a track with helmet on, there are good cutouts here for if you were doing such as that. So just personal aside there from experience. But the engine is a 2.4 liter Subaru engine making 228 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. So for that to feel really powerful, this is a small and light vehicle. Parked next to my Chevy Cruze, it looks tiny. Like, it's small. It's a small car.
It's a small car. Also, you'll be surprised, used adaptive cruise.
And?
Because I didn't know how to turn that part off. And I wanted to do cruise. Well, I mean, I guess for adaptive cruise control, it was pretty smooth. There was no jerking.
Yeah.
I still don't like adaptive cruise control.
Yeah. Well,
I like to have control.
as I've mentioned before, this is mostly a Subaru. So all of that is Subaru's system here. We've got their eyesight cameras, although that's not what Toyota calls them in this vehicle. But yes, all your technology from Subarus are integrated here into this one. And then storage. We talked a little bit about the trunk, but what's...
Just a
Green.
cup holder there. Oh,
And
it gives you, it gives you the little beep beep. Just cup holders here, kind of just another cup holder here.
But I've got one in the door. You've got one
Another
in
cup
your
holder.
door. Two more in here, but you could also use it as a center console.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kind of odd, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, and then I can't even open it. No, there is a glove box in here. I promise you, but not right now. But one point you made, even over like the Supra had a 10 cubic foot trunk space, rear hatch space. But one of the pluses this has is you can actually put stuff in the back seat if nobody's riding back there. And it's really easy to flip and fold these seats forward. If my only caveat is when you put them back, they don't remember where they were. You have to reposition them.
Yeah,
So
you do.
there is that. But
We're spoiled.
yes, we are. We are indeed. Care to guess what this one's sticker's for?
44.
No.
Okay.
So, this being the most affordable rear-wheel drive sports car you can get on the market, as this one sits, $34,126.
Ooh.
It starts at $28,400.
Ooh, that's nice.
So, it really is in this market an affordable vehicle, and makes me wish more competitors had something to compete directly against this.
Why?
Competition makes everybody
Why wouldn't
better.
you just get this one? What's wrong with this one? There's nothing
I want
wrong
more.
with this one.
I want more. I want
What?
options.
There's-
So,
This one's perfect.
Yeah.
Stop at perfection.
I think we know where you stand on this one. Unfortunately, for family use, it is a little bit snug.
Speak for yourself. I'm fine.
And on that bombshell, we will bid you adieu. If you want to see more from Holly, some stuff from her
Yummy.
and Tucker, go find her on Instagram and on Facebook at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk. Or you can go read more about this vehicle at gtgaragetalk.com, listen to our podcast and the like. But until next time, gearheads, bye. Because I know y'all want to see this in the bloopers, I'm gonna try and get out gracefully. Oh my goodness. Whew. That's how it's done. That's tight back seat. Surprised by the price?
I'm really surprised by that price. It makes me be like, why was I so set on a Mini Cooper when I bought it? This is what I'm dreaming about. Life before husband, kids, driving down the road in my sports car, my affordable sports car.
That's what you were pretending while you were off
Yep.
girls weekend?
Gallivanting.
Yeah. Well, I was doing the same, just in the Z.
Guess I'll be back in the Jeep. No, I won't.
Broncos coming on Tuesday.
I'm gonna go snorkeling.